This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Alright everyone, hope you're all doing fantastic. Now, while there's not too much boxing news going on today, I thought I'd do 3 videos back to back. And the videos will be titled, Why I Started My YouTube Channel, How Do I Do My Videos, and How I Grew My Channel. Because this week will be 3 years that I started uploading the boxing news. Now, the reason that I'm doing this is because on my social media, Instagram and Twitter, they're the only 2 that I use. I get a lot of questions, a lot of people saying, hi, my name is so-and-so, I want to start my own YouTube channel, I'm a big fan of yours, what is it that you do? So this is why I'm doing these videos. In addition to the fact people go to my official website and send me, they use the contact section and send me emails as well, ask me these questions, and I get them daily. Imagine that I get several thousand comments per day. Okay, so I'm going to do these videos because I don't have time to be responding to everybody individually and all that kind of thing. I've got my own stuff to do. So on this video, why I started my channel. Now, all 3 of these videos will go hand in hand for anybody who's curious or anybody who's already an uploader. I'll be giving you guys all the tips and tricks that I use. But again, that doesn't mean that how I do it is going to work for you. Okay, everybody's going to have their own way of doing it. Now, why did I start my YouTube channel? That would be a case of I need to take you guys back in time. So just before I started my channel 3 years ago, okay? I'm living down south. I was born up here in the northeast, and but I always felt a pull to move back to the northeast. I always felt like that was my home. That's where I should be. I want to move back to the northeast, but I could never get the opportunity. I had a job down south. I had a mortgage, family, all that kind of stuff. So I can't just quit and just move, okay? That would just be a stupid thing to do. But I had a mortgage down there. I'm halfway through my 25-year mortgage, so I'd have been there for about 12, 13 years in that house. And the company that I was working for, I've been there for 18 years. So not too far out of leaving school, I joined this company, okay? And I worked my way up through the promotional ranks, etc. And I got to like project management, all this kind of stuff. So I was earning some pretty good money. But as I said, I want to move back to the northeast. So an opportunity came up where they offered everybody in the whole company, where they said, we want 6 or 7 people for redundancy, voluntary redundancy. And I was like, yeah, me. I'm the first, like one of the first people to go, yes, please, me, I want that. Now, they didn't want me to do it. I don't know whether it's because they liked me or because my redundancy salary is so much different to most other people's, because I've been there for so long. My original contract stayed with me. I refused to change my contract, all that kind of thing. Because my contract was I get paid for redundancy 1 month for every year that I've been there, tax-free. Plus they give you an extra 3 months on top. Plus they give you like a couple of £1,000 to help you look for another job, maybe a bit of training, what have you. And of course they help with all your solicitor fees and that as well. Well, they pay for all of it. So it was a pretty good deal. So this was my opportunity to take that money, move back to the northeast, okay? And as I said, I'm halfway through my mortgage, so I put my house up for sale. I do like a bit of DIY on it. I'm pretty handy with a drill and a saw, so I managed to update my house a little bit, and I sold it very, very quickly, much quicker than what I thought I was going to be. And I managed to sell my house quite quickly because a couple of people were interested, and they started bidding against each other for it, okay? So my asking price for it, I got way more than the asking price for it, okay? And I managed to double what I bought my house for. So as you can imagine, when I'm paying back the bank as well for like the remaining 12 years or so, I'm still getting a lot of money left over. That's mine at the end. Plus with my redundancy, that's a hell of a lot of money. I can move up to Newcastle, buy a house, cash. Okay, so I was very fortunate in that situation. So that's what I've done. But of course, while all this is going on, like a couple of weeks before I'm actually moving up to the northeast, we get like these home visits, okay? Everybody in the UK gets them when you got children, like these women, they're like midwives or social workers, whatever they're called. They come around to your house, see how you're doing, see how the child is doing. Are they progressing to a certain level, what they should be for their age? My little boy was 3, just before 4 years old at that particular time. And she said to me, do I have any concerns about him? And I said, well, his older brother, at his age, I remember him being an absolute nightmare, that he'd be running up and down the stairs, he'd be jumping around, he would jump on the sofa, jump off, and this, that, and the other. Very, very hyper. Whereas this one, my youngest son, while he's very hyper and he's very active, isn't as flexible or as bouncy as his older brother. So she said, okay then. So he can't jump, for example, okay? He can't go up and down the stairs without holding onto the banister or whatever else. And for him to jump, one foot will stay on the ground while the other foot comes up. It's that kind of thing. I was like, okay, this isn't quite normal, okay? So he got some tests done, some blood tests come back, and he had a high rate or a high count of whatever it was. I forget what it's called. But in that process, as I said, I'm moving house. So I can't complete everything because they keep wanting to come back, want to send us off to Oxford and things like that. And I'm like, well, I can't do that because I'm moving up to Newcastle. So he said, okay, no problem. We'll send all the details over to his new doctor in Newcastle and take it from there. I went, okay, cool. So we moved to Newcastle, we got him a doctor and started redoing all the tests, all that kind of thing again. And as it turned out, he got diagnosed with Duchenne. Now, for those of you who don't know what Duchenne is, it's the most severe muscle wasting disease that there possibly is. Okay, there's no more severe one. Okay, there's no cure for it. There's no reversal for it. There's no real way of slowing it down either. Unfortunately, he'll go through his first few years perfectly normal as other kids. He won't be as fast on his feet and that, but eventually he'll get weak and he'll end up in a wheelchair and then ultimately die at a very, very young age. And no parent wants to outlive their own children. And unfortunately for me, with my youngest son, that could well be the case because I've still got like 30, 40 years left until retirement. So when I'm buying the house, I'm thinking, yes, I've still got loads of years left until I've got to retire. Minted, I'm ching, 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 excellent, everything's great. Now, coincidentally, I'd already committed myself to move to Newcastle, so I'd moved to Newcastle, and coincidentally, the Centre for Life here in Newcastle is the head research for muscular dystrophy. So again, that worked out okay as far as that is concerned. But that's why I started my YouTube channel, because obviously it's devastating news. You don't know what to do about it. What can you do? There's no cure or anything like that. It's a charity that people haven't heard of. So I'm like, okay, so what is it that I can do? I'll start a YouTube channel and I'll talk about boxing. I'll call myself Sporting Icons because I want to cover more than just boxing, but do various different sports. So Sporting Icons, had I have known it was just boxing, it would have been Boxing Icons. So I started doing it, and unfortunately for me, as far as boxing is concerned, I'm up in Newcastle. I'm away from the hotbed of boxing, which is like London area. So I moved away from it. I did. And again, if you're in London or anything, you have the advantage over me. You can go to the gyms, you can get the interviews, go to the press conferences, the fights, all this kind of thing, things that I can't do. Okay, and if you're in New York and that as well, again, that's a hotbed for boxing. You should be able to grow your channel very, very quickly. So I'm at a disadvantage where a lot of channels are at the advantage that I don't have. But I still managed to grow it, and I'll explain a bit more in the next 2 videos. But that was my reason for starting the channel, and I chose boxing, and I'm going through boxing. And at the beginning and end of every single video, you'll see Duchenne pop up. And hopefully you guys, you will see what it is, go onto Google and read about it. Hopefully that's what you do. And if anybody wants to donate to it, please do so. Now, the people who run the charities for Duchenne and the researchers and what have you, they don't know what it is that I do here. Okay, they don't know that I'm pushing out the Duchenne charity. Okay, they are totally oblivious to it. I don't put a link in the description box. I got accused before, when I did used to do it, that I own the website and I'm lying. You know how people get, people will just be jealous haters, because I managed to grow it at a much quicker rate than what they have done, which I'll explain again in other videos. But that's why I started my channel, was a way to promote Duchenne. And of course, as time goes on, I never had the thought or the inclination of getting involved in boxing. And as time goes on, I seem to be getting more and more involved in certain things. I've got like a lot of contacts with fighters. As I said before, I knew nobody in boxing, even associated with boxing. I knew nobody. Okay, but as time's gone on, my phone book is filled with boxers, managers, promoters, all that kind of thing. So I've been fortunate, and all of it just happened to be coincidental, really, as time goes on. I never tried to do it. All I ever wanted was 1,000 subscribers, because that's 1,000 people who then know about the charity. That's 1,000 people more than what would have done had I not have started my channel. That's why I do it. That's why I started my channel, was to not do about boxing or as such. Of course, that's my motivation. I've got other motivations as time goes on. My new motivation, of course, is Northeast Boxing. But Duchenne Charity will always be my one reason for continuing it, for starting it and continuing it, pushing that name out there of Duchenne. I want each and every one of you guys, if you can, go into Google and just read about it, okay? I'm not going to make videos explaining exactly what it is, but hopefully you guys will find the time to do so, to do that. Now, as I said, I won't know that you're doing it. I'm not associated with any of these websites and what have you. So if you donate, again, thank you very much. I don't know about it, but thank you very, very much for you guys doing it. So that's why I've done it. Okay, so that's my motivation. That will always be my motivation. I've got additional motivations as time goes on. As I said, the Northeast here, I'm going to be promoting everybody in the Northeast as much as I possibly can. I now have the platform to do it. But growing my channel, which I'll cover in the other videos, was never a plan for me. It was never ever a plan. It was always just about getting people to watch videos. I'm giving you the content that you want, boxing news, but also you're getting to see Duchenne pop up that maybe you've never seen it before. Okay, so that's why I started my channel. All right. Anyway, drop your thoughts below about it. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.